in this lesson, we're going to start making a connection between radicals and rational exponents. So what I mean by that is you can actually write all radical expressions as rational exponents and rational exponents as radical expressions. Now the thing I want you to remember when you're dealing with a rational exponent, so that means a fractional exponent, the top is going to be your power, okay, or your exponent. So think of solar power, okay? That's coming from the sun, so it is on top. The bottom is your root, okay? Just like the roots of trees are underneath a tree. So the bottom is what's going to make your root, your radical exponent, or your radical expression. So let's take a look at how to apply this. So in these, I'm going to start with the bottom. Remember, the bottom number is going to be your root. So the bottom number, it was tells you what root you are going to use. Then the top number again is your power. So it's the power that's still connected to the variable or the number or whatever you have there. So let's try it again. So again, the bottom is what creates your root. The top is what creates your power. Well, I don't ever actually have to show the 1. So whenever you have a 1 up there, it basically just makes a root. There is no exponent on whatever you're talking about. Then, the important thing to remember is negatives. What does a negative exponent mean? Well, a negative exponent means move it to the bottom. And now let's do this process. So we have 1 over, again, the bottom makes my root, the top makes my power. All right, so let's apply this in the other direction. So now that we have a feel for that, let's apply it in the other direction. So again, my root makes my bottom, and my exponent makes my top. Okay, the power on top, the root on the bottom. So you can actually take this to reverse what you've done. Now, on ones like this, sometimes you'll have to kind of plug in the numbers yourself. So remember, a square root always has a 2 for an index, and whenever there is no power, no exponent, remember it's a 1. So basically, my root goes on the bottom, my exponent or my power goes on the top. For my next one, again, same thing. My root goes on the bottom, my exponent goes on the top. So I don't think there's anything particularly difficult about this. It's just getting used to that conversion. So on your practice work, a lot of it is just can you convert between these forms, between radicals and exponents. Now, the reason that this is important is because it can help us evaluate numbers, okay? It can help us evaluate numbers with a rational exponent. So again, the big idea is the exponent is on top, the root is on the bottom, and then you just kind of simplify from there. So I have one example already done for you to look at, and then I have some examples to do with you. All right. So let's take a look at this. So we have a root of 3. So that means I'm going to have a cube root, okay? And then I'm going to have my exponent. So that's the first thing, is clearly labeling that 3 is my root, and then I have my exponent. So what does that mean? Well, the cube root of -8, well, the cube root of 8 is 2, so you keep a negative there. So the cube root of -8 is going to be -2. -2 squared is going to be 4. So you follow the same steps. Again, the bottom is your root. So you take the cube root of -8, which is -2, square that to give you 4. Now we have to make sure we don't forget that whole tricky negative exponent thing. Negative exponents means before you even start, move it to the denominator, and now we do our process from here. So I have a root of 2, so that means I'm going to square root my number. So square root of 4 is 2. And then I had an exponent of 5. 2 to the 5th power is 32. So again, it's basically exactly what we were doing on the first slide, except now we're applying everything to actual numbers, okay? So please make sure you have all this written down, and then please make sure you ask if you have any additional questions after watching this video.